Yo, 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 old styles in the building. Yo, my bad, my bad, my bad. I thought I was on, but I wasn't on. But now I'm on. So I apologize for that, people. Uh so yeah, I'm live. Let's go. Yeah. I was talking for about 7 minutes. And yeah, I didn't add myself to the stage. So that's my bad. I apologize about that. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna get right into it. J. Cole drops his new mixtape. Kdot. Oh, we have a joiner. Nads is in the building. Nads, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Um,
All
can you
right,
hear me
cool,
now?
cool, 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 cool,
All
cool. I
right,
can hear
cool.
you.
Yeah, I was trying to get in, but something was wrong with the live, so I don't know. So I had to click
Yeah,
off
yeah,
and
that
click
was
back
my
in.
bad still. I didn't add myself to the
Yeah.
stage. So yeah, I was just doing a little quick intro and we're gonna get right into it. You know what I'm saying? So
All right, cool, cool.
so basically, if you're new to the channel, um, my name is O Styles, the Omari Wave. On this channel, what you're pretty much gonna get is live streams to do with hip hop, hip hop that I am mainly interested in. Hip hop closer to my age bracket. Let's just say so. The J Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's, the Drake's, the quote unquote big three, the Puff Daddies, the Kanye Wests. That's what my live streams are gonna pretty much consist of. If you're interested in that, please do hit the subscribe button. Um, you know, give share the live, give the video a thumbs up, drop a comment, all that good stuff. The videos will definitely consist of me traveling. Anytime I jump on a plane, I'm definitely bringing my GoPro with me. I'm definitely bringing my cell phone with me and recording, and I'll come home and chop it all up and post it on YouTube. So I've been to Brazil, I've been to Colombia, I've been to DR a bunch of times. I've been to Jamaica, I've been to different parts of Canada, I've been to yeah, a bunch of places. Even before I started recording, I've been to Mexico, I've been to the UK, I've been all over pretty much. Yeah, different parts of the states as well too. Been to Florida a bunch of times, Atlanta, been to New York, been to Texas. So yeah. So for the most part, a lot of that is going to be in the video section. The shorts will just be day to day life. You may see me screaming at the TV after a big Raptors win. You may see out and about. You may see me out and about with the UM. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the channel. If you're interested, just hit me. Yeah, you can also hit me up on IG, same name, the Omari Wave, Omari underscore Styles. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. And today, oh yeah, also TikTok. You can hit me up on TikTok, same name as well too. Omari underscore Styles or the Omari Wave. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the channel. If you're interested, don't be shy and subscribe. You already know. But getting into today's topic, let's just get right into it, man. I'm fired up, man. Like, J. Cole just dropped a new mixtape. Kendrick is about to sweep the Grammys, break records, and Drake is still suing. He appealed the decision on the lawsuit versus UMG. So we're gonna dive right into it. We have Nads in the building. Nads, what's good, man?
Yeah.
Good,
What's good?
Nads.
What's good? Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. So, yeah, I'm
Tell
just
them about
here
your
and
page. You recently created a YouTube or dropped a new video on your YouTube. Tell them about your what's going on
yeah.
with you.
So I kind of just started a little YouTube page. I actually had this page for a while, but finally decided to make it into something that I'm really passionate about, which is sneakers and collecting sneakers and talking about sneakers, of course. So it's called Life of a Sneaker Mama. So if you guys want to check out my page, I just dropped a video today doing a quick review of the gammas. I know they dropped last month, but I didn't get a chance to really get it done in December. So I'm like, okay, that will be my first review of 2026. Pretty much my first review overall. But yeah, you could just check it out. There'll be more sneaker reviews to come. I'll be doing a lot more recording. And yeah, so that's it. So Life of Sneaker Mama, just go ahead and check it out, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's get right into it. Yeah, definitely subscribe to Life with Sneaker Mama. You know, trying to run up those subscriptions or those subscribe numbers. And yeah, let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. So let me ask you this, Nads. How did you feel about the wait, actually, where do you want to start? Do you want to start from the with the Drake, or do you want to start with the Kendrick, or do you want to just go right into the Jermaine Cole?
I think we should start with the Jermaine Cole or the J. Cole because that's just a hot topic right now. And he just dropped a mixtape last night or a few nights ago. And yeah, it's buzzing. It's buzzing. It sounds really good. Very nostalgic because I remember all the beats. It's very bad boy. It's all bad boy beats. And it's just my era of hip hop. So I do remember, even like what we're going to be talking about, Golden Goose freestyle. I immediately was like, oh, that's Black Rob. Because I remember just the nostalgia of just listening to that Black Rob album and where it took me back to kind of thing. So immediately I knew, okay, that's Black Rob for sure. So yeah, just this is very, very bad boy, very East Coast nostalgia. And yeah, so I think we should start with that first, the Blizzard EP. Okay,
SMS
Blizzard.
2169 says, "Yo, yo, 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 what's good? What's good? What's good?
That's
What's good,
good.
yo?" So yeah, let's get right into it then. Let me quickly just share your page. You know what I mean? We're trying to run it up, right? You know, you want to run that. You want to get those subscribers up, right? So let me just
Right, right.
quickly show the people them
Okay.
your your ting there. So this is Life of a Sneaker Mama right here. I just subscribe, turn the notification bells on. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is the gammas, right? Right here.
Those are the gammas, yeah. So I
Okay.
just so
Okay.
Yeah, so just did a quick. That's the
Rich.
shorts, and I did an actual video. So
Yeah.
maybe just show them the video as well, just quickly, and then we can get back
Rich.
to the
Jordan
the
11
topic of the day.
review. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So yeah, check out Life of a Sneaker Mama. Okay, I see you.
Yes.
Jeez, look pun shoes. Yo, no joke. Okay. So yeah, people them can just check out Life with Sneaker Mama. And yeah, so let's go. Let's get right into it. So you're saying you want to start with the Jermaine Cole, right? So
Right.
nostalgic beats, right? So tell me about these beats. Which beat did you like the most? Which beat resonated with you? Or just yeah, just start with the first one. I mean, which what
Okay.
was the first one again? The first one was the sun don't shine forever, but as long as I'm here, we might as well shine together. What's that song called again by Puffy?
Yeah. So it's
Victory?
Victory. Yeah. So he started with Victory, which is the Brooklyn Zoo freestyle. So we're gonna go into
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
people picked up on a few lyrics there. I'm not sure which ones you picked up on. My main one, I want to talk about that one. When we get to that one, we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? But
We'll get
there
to it.
was
Yeah,
some
let's just
there was some
start there.
shots. Yeah, well, we'll start. Well, we can start with that. We can go in order. Like Brooklyn Zoo, that is the
Yeah, just
victory
start
beat.
right
That
there.
was that
Yeah.
was fire. I liked it. The victories track is dope. So it really started off. In the Ferrari and the lamb truck switching right lanes, top down screaming out, them niggas all the lame. So that's like, that's a shout out to Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri, that's the whole money in the thing, flow and cadence. So he took that and took that and flipped that on that track. So that was dope. Very, very shout out to and homage to the Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri track. So that was dope. And um the song, like the lyrics didn't really catch me like the Golden Goose one we're gonna talk about later. But I kind of like when you said Max Steele's like Luka Doncic lobbying to Aiton. That was pretty dope.
Hold on,
He
hold on,
did
hold on, hold
this.
on, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah,
But wait a
yeah.
second. Before you get there, he said them niggas all lame. So I think off the
Yeah.
rip, he's already starting. He's already starting.
Starting with the
He's
shots.
already
Yeah.
starting dissing. Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
But go on,
And
go on.
that's the and
Can you see my
just as
screen? Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Oh yes, definitely. I can see your
Yeah. Okay.
screen.
So yeah.
So
So then yeah. Next. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah.
yeah, so I which I've watched other commentaries. I don't really want to their frame of mind or their opinion or and to kind of seep into our opinions and how we're listening to the tracks, but I understand that okay, some people are like, well, you backed out of the battle,
No.
so why are you throwing shots kind of thing. Me, I don't really care about that. He made a decision
Yeah.
to do
Yeah. Yeah.
that,
Adjust it.
and that's his decision. At least he's not suing. But we'll get into we'll get into Jermaine. He's still a rapper. He's still dope. I may not be fully into J Cole like that, but he's that's why he was a part of the Big Three because he's dope and he's very lyrical and he's very talented. So you know what I mean. So I didn't see it.
But
If he's
why?
gonna
But
throw
why
his
would
shots,
you
let him throw his
say
shots.
that he
You know what I
didn't
mean?
sue? Like, why would you say that? Why would you
Well,
say that?
because
Like, are
I feel
you
that
like?
like he
Why would
dropped.
you?
I know. Well, we'll get into that and because I don't want to get straight into the Drake appeal yet, because that's one of the last topics on our show. So on your show, sorry.
Yeah, but
So I
he didn't do that though. He didn't do that. Like Drake. I mean, I'm not defending Drake. I'm just saying Kendrick didn't call J Cole a PDF file.
okay, we'll get into
But
that.
you know, we don't gotta
Let's
go
not
there
dig
as
too.
yet. We
Hold
don't
on,
gotta
we're not
go there
gonna
as
go
yet.
into that because
But you're
I've
already
already
taking
just
shots.
no, we've already no,
You're
hold on. The
taking
reason
shots.
no, but you're cutting me off, sir. Hold on, just give me one moment. Let me land
No,
the
I think
plane,
there's a lag.
okay?
I think there's a lag.
Oh, there's a leg. Okay, my apologies. Okay, let me land the plane for a second. Okay, the reason why I don't want to get too deep into that because what really is going on with that situation is I feel that people are just focused just on Drake when it comes to that line now. And I feel like a lot of people don't really read lyrics and comprehend lyrics and understand that rap
That's
lyrics
true.
are very hyperbolic. So that's another thing. And I can dig deeper into to that situation concerning Drake too and what he said towards people over the past. So but I'm not gonna indulge too much into because the purpose of us doing this right now, we're talking about J. Cole. We're talking about the Blizzard track. So let's just I mean the birthday Blizzard EP. So let's focus on that. But this right now is like yeah, he is taking shots, right? He's taking shots
That's all
already.
I'm saying. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
taking
yeah, yeah.
shots. So if you keep going
Taking
down,
shots. Yeah.
and that's the thing. He mixes the shots in with some like very very like beautiful metaphor. Like what do you call it? Yeah, metaphors like double entendres and stuff like that. You know, like you know how they all kind of do. They
Yeah,
all
they
kind of do
do.
that.
Yeah.
They'll say one thing, but it means something totally different. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like this next line. You see how he says, "Living ghetto fab like my brother named Paul Kane," and everybody knows that's
Yeah.
Fabulous's brother's name is Paul Kane, right?
Okay.
Uh, real brother or just that's his real brother,
Well,
right?
that I don't. Well, that I
Paul
don't know. I'm
Kane.
not really into
I
fab like
can't
that. But if
remember.
you know, you know. But I know there was a track. Somebody
I
had
know
brought
that's
that
like
up.
his
There were.
brother, like friend, like label mate type of thing. Like you know, they rap
Yeah.
together on track. I don't know if that's his like blood brother. You know, someone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong if he is or he isn't. But yeah, I like those like metaphors, those double entendres. You know that he mixes in with like the little subtle jabs and stuff like that. So like the more you get into it, the more you kind of see like, no, this dude is spitting. You know what I mean? When I first heard this beat, I wasn't really too, you know, impressed. But the more I kind of like dived into it, it's definitely growing on me. This Bronx Zoo freestyle, and the
Mhm.
more you see, he starts going back into like the, you know, he says here, grown men peddling gossip of all things,
All
right?
up in
And
my
if you
ears.
remember correctly,
Yeah.
all these, all, but that's the ad lib, that's the Biggie ad lib, all up in my
Yeah.
ear, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, he's still take. Pretty sure he's still referencing Drake. You know what I mean? Grown men peddling gossip of all things. So
Well,
I feel like, but how do you interpret that? How do you interpret that?
Well, he
Peddling
it may
gossip.
not okay. Well, not every he may not be talking directly to Drake. It's more in the lines of podcasters and gossiping. It could be
Ah,
some people said that it could be either Joe Budden and or academics or those type of people just gossiping about the rap world and that's what that could be in those lines. Now, living ghetto fab like my brother named Paul King. Somebody was watching pulled up the fact that Fabulous, Paul Kane, and Joe Budden had a track together. So that's where people are kind of alluding to the fact that, oh, he's maybe talking about Joe Budden, you know what I mean? But
Okay,
that's what
okay.
he's talking about. Somehow along the way, I hate to say, we lost shame. You can turn the okay, lost shame. Grown men peddling gossip all of all things. So
Yeah. So, yeah.
it could be alluding to Joe Budden, but he's talking
Joe
about could be
Budden,
talking about
yeah.
other rappers
Yeah.
like Fat Joe just did a whole commentary on
Oh yeah,
J
he
Cole,
did. He
straight
did,
dissed him and
yeah.
everything, and but didn't
He
say nothing
did.
about Drake. See, that's another thing. But I don't want to get too deep into that.
No,
But
you can get
anyways,
into that. That make but that
no,
goes along the lines of him
that goes
talking
up
about the gossip. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you
exactly,
don't know,
exactly.
Fat Joe on one of his more recent podcast episodes, this J. Cole like was talking down on him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Made a whole bunch
very
of
down.
references,
Yeah,
talked down. Jadakiss took the high road, of course. You know what I mean? And at the same time, Jadakiss is just defending J. Cole. Like, what? Like, Joe, you bugging in New York. New Yorkers would say, you bugging. You know what I mean? But Fat Joe stood behind it. He's like, nah, this dude came out the battle and this and that. Imagine if you, Jadakiss, would have backed out the battle when you were facing off against Beanie Siegel, and imagine you were in the bin and this and that. Like, Fat Joe does it, right? Like, he just starts going off on these tangents. You
I
know what
don't
I mean?
listen to
So he went
anything
off
Fat
on
Joe
J.
says.
Cole.
Sorry, I don't trust. I to be honest, I don't trust anything Fat Joe says because some of his stories they come out to be fabricated. So I don't really trust a lot of things that he says. You know what I mean? And I just feel that he's very like I don't know. I think he's like sold out a lot when it comes to like he used to be dope back in the day, like you know what I mean. But he sold out a lot. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really would trust everything that Fat Joe says. You know what I mean? I know he's a pioneer in the game, but no, I don't. I don't really follow everything he says. So. But yeah, but that's what I mean. Like that bar could be indirected to the Joe Bunnets, the Fat Joes, the academics who have
Yeah.
said some bad things about J. Cole after the battle. You know what I mean? Even if you
Mm-hmm.
go back to what ASAP Rocky was talking to academics, he's like, "Oh, I don't like the things you're saying about J. Cole. I asked for J. Cole. You know what I mean? This and this and that."
Mm,
So yeah, so J. Cole could be talking about academics as well. All of them, all bunch of them, all bunch of them. Anyways,
true.
I remember
Yeah.
when
So
it was
move it. So
rapping
now
and
it says
balling.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't really know who he's alluding to here, but yeah, I also remember when it was rapping and ball playing. Like, I remember those days. That's why I mess with J. Cole, because I feel like I remember those days too, when like the like not quote unquote coolest guys out here, the people that you wouldn't talk down on, and it was just the code, was
Mhm.
the rappers and the ball players. You know what I mean? Those are
Yeah.
just the leaders of the culture, right? And then he goes on to say, now the bread and butter is yapping and parlaying, right? So just
Yeah.
all these guys are doing are just podcasting and
Podcasting
betting.
and
You know what I
talking
mean?
pure nonsense and
Talking about betting.
yapping their gums,
Yeah.
talking things they should not be talking, and just to make money. Yeah. So sorry to
I think
cut
the
you off there.
parlaying is to
Yeah.
do with thing as well too. The stake, how all these state
The
guys, these guys are
gambling.
just, yeah, the
Yeah.
gambling. Everything is, use my promo code this and use my promo code that. Like, everybody's just
True.
selling
True.
out for the
Yeah.
bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could be alluding to Cameron too. Who knows? Underdog, Cameron and
That
underdog. You
too.
know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That,
Because
but I forgot about Cameron because Cameron's in
yeah,
legal stuff with J. Cole
too, with
right now.
J.
It's like, yeah,
Cole.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's talking to Cameron. Yeah, it could, yeah, that could
yeah.
be
All the bread and butter
definitely
is
a
yapping. That's another
possibility.
podcaster, right? Another podcaster you could potentially be
Yeah.
talking about. You know what I mean? Because Cam's a big podcaster right now too. So, and
Look
now
how
this
Drake
is
opened up
directly,
the door for all these legal stuff, eh? All these rappers
yeah,
suing rappers. You never used to hear this stuff. I'm not ignorant enough to don't know that it went on back in the day, but you never heard of this stuff. You never heard it in the public. You see how like he's opened the door now for rappers to sue rappers. You see what I'm saying? You see the nonsense? But anyways, let's get back to the lyrics. So anyways, yeah, so um
so then he
now I
says,
just
yeah, I agree. Drake definitely opened some doors for sure.
yeah, wrong
He's not the
doors. But
first.
anyways.
He definitely won't be the
Exactly,
last
but
for
you never
sure.
heard it wasn't on this scale, wasn't on this big scale. You never heard it. People never heard it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, for
That
sure.
wasn't on this huge scale. Um,
Sure. Then he
so I
says,
don't
"Oh
yeah.
man, your name's a big conversation. So I think
Mhm.
he's going right back into dissing up Drake here. Oh man, your name's a big conversation. Max deals for Luka Doncic, lobbing to Aiton. So that those are two Lakers players.
Lakers
Max
players.
deals, right? So Max deals is, I guess,
Super
referencing the
max.
Drake deal, right?
Yeah.
Right, the Drake deal.
Okay. Yeah. Max just for Luca.
Wait a second. Does he
Okay.
say it here? Uh,
No,
yeah, I think
nowadays you can make it
maybe to
commented.
reach, but Max deals. I think he starts here, but remember when you get into Golden Goose, he has more lyrics, like more targeted towards Drake's deal and Lucian and all that type of stuff, UMG and
Right,
all
right.
that, or not
Mhm.
UMG, yeah, UMG pretty much. So yeah, going down nowadays, you can make a grip commentating. See, back to the podcasters. Could be
Yeah,
Cam. He's taking shots at. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know. Could be Joe Budden, like you're saying. But I
yeah.
think that's the problem with J. Cole sometimes. He doesn't really kind of go too direct. He just kind of alludes to,
He alludes to it.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Meanwhile, Kendrick just steps right on the man's throat, like stepped on
No,
his
he'll
throat.
go. No, he'll go.
But
No, because he's
he'll go,
direct.
yeah, he's direct.
I don't take.
Catch
What do you
flights,
say?
I'm gonna take
You take
direct.
direct. Yeah, he said it.
Euphoria still gives me chills to this day. Just thinking about
Yeah,
that
because
song.
people are
Yeah, that
still
song.
breaking down the bars. People are still,
Nah,
as of
man, that was
today, breaking down Euphoria bars. And we're
yeah,
referencing it to this thing. I saw them bring it back, Squabble Up. Remember, I was talking to you about Squabble Up earlier. And people were going into the Kendrick lyrics from GNX to kind of reference to what's going on here with J Cole stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like it's just wow, man. I'm telling you, Kendrick did something, man. I don't know. You know,
He did something
we're
still.
gonna get into the Drake appeal. I feel we can talk deeper into that because what those four diss tracks did to Drake, it's like it's crazy. I've never seen anything like this. But anyways, okay, so let's get back to okay, so it says if you master two
Yeah.
skills
So then,
either yeah, go ahead, sorry.
dick riding or hating. He just. I see. He just again. He's just kind of like going more deeper into the like the podcasters and how they're just all kind of like on this guy's jock because he dropped out of the battle pretty much. And then he says something. I didn't really understand this one. Tell mommy your ticket to find live out of her basement. I don't really understand who he was getting at here. Tell mommy your ticket to finally live out of her basement.
That could be
I
an
don't know because there's
academics.
that.
That could be
Yeah, it's
academics.
true.
Yeah,
But
that could be because
academics
remember
has
he
his
was
own
living in his
crib.
mother's
That's not.
basement, right?
Oh, that was before, yeah, but not now. Not anymore. He's not living in his mom's basement no more. He has like
But I know
a couple
that. I know
houses.
that. Yeah, I know that,
But
but
remember,
that could be
Drake
a
used to
jet.
live in his mom's basement too. Remember? Because back in
Oh,
that
that was
old
me. I
video of
know,
him,
but it's not talking about
that
Drake
wouldn't
and
make
that.
sense.
No,
Yeah, that
no,
wouldn't make
would
sense.
it? Drake's moved that
No,
mom from even the grassy
years.
days. It's not his mom. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's not like, yeah, yeah. So you know what I mean? Um,
She's
but I
talking
like
about
that if you're not,
engagement. So like this whole thing.
it
Go
could
on,
just
go
be
on. Yeah.
talking about like the academics, some of these podcasters that
Everybody,
live in their mom's basement.
even
You know
just
what I
the
mean?
people on the internet in general. Yeah, just people.
Yeah.
All this stuff to say in mom's basement. You know what I mean? So ain't nothing brings that drama like you might want. Okay, yeah. So let's see. See, he's still going. Personally, I don't write comments. I write commas. He's still talking about the internet. Withdrawals from pictures, the pen draws. Yes, okay. You want to know this to end all be all to describe game to train the CPR on whole new briefings. Yeah, okay. So bottom line is we don't really have to go much deeper into this track. If you drawn anything from this first track review is that dude is going in on everybody on the internet who has just been talking about him nonstop from A to Z. He is just letting y'all know that he ain't doing all that. He's straight bars,
Hmm.
right? Straight bars. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
See?
before we leave the Brooklyn Zoo, I just want to just quickly because the people have talked about this bar as well. When you like, okay, we talked about I hate these rappers like I'm Charleston White because Charleston White always talk bad about rappers, right? And he's like, "Oh, y'all taught us to me, stop bothering me, young Simba. Some niggas stole some Niggas. Sorry, ninjas throw some hate way my way, but only thing they should say, call you like a father to me. So there's this guy named Simba that kind of, did a track dissing J. Cole when he folded and stuff like that. So that's what I guess that's who he's referring to. But then people say that
Makes sense.
J. Cole used to refer himself to Simba too as well. But I don't think he's
Yeah, he
talking
does.
about I don't think he's talking about himself. He's talking about that rapper Simba that went after him last year, right? So yeah, I think that's who he's talking about. The K-pop's like
Yeah,
Asian rappers. Hold on. I'm Asian backwards in the sandbox and playing with
we're really
trappers.
going bar for bar. Just say that then. Just say that then. We're going bar
No,
for
we're not
bar.
going.
Okay,
No, no,
so let
no,
me
no, no.
just.
But hold on. We're not going bar for bar. I'm just trying to pick out certain things. If there's anything
But
else
that's
that
what I'm saying. If we're gonna pick out, like, you might as well just go bar for bar. Hold on a second, because it's like, where were we? Because we're just right here. Like, personally, I don't write comma. I don't write comments. I write commas. With draws and picture, the pen draws the fall off. So you want to know if this is the end all be all, right? Because everybody thinks this is the fall off, so they think he's just gonna fall off. But go on, go on, go on. You say we should skip down?
I like that when you
Because I
should
feel like
start
if we
mowing
skip
the
down, we
lawn.
might
Just
just miss something. We're gonna just miss a bunch of stuff if we just like skip through it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Okay, hold on. Just let me speak here. Yeah, it says okay, I think we could kind of end and move into the next one, but
That's what I'm
I
trying
kind
to
of was
say.
just
But
looking at I was kind of just looking at some of the other lyrics that says that was pretty clever. It says if your girl says start mowing the lawn, discover the snakes, pull up to your place and go in alone, creep to your room and put four in your dome. So now he's talking that gangster stuff now he's talking about the gangster stuff. And then he said if your
he
girl
got
screams, tell the
biblical.
yeah, you got very like gangster. Those are gangster lyrics, right? Those are take a shot gangster
Yeah,
lyrics. Yeah, matter of fact, go on your phone, add me on IG and used to be top I used to be top seed. So top 3, top seed. Apologize, dropped me way out of the top 3. So this is why I didn't want to leave this track yet, because this is a big bar. He says, apology dropped me way
hold on.
out of the top 3. So this is him talking about when he
There
apologized
it
to
is.
Kendrick.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep, right
That's
here. Yep.
it. That's it. You know what I mean? So everybody else is saying picking lyrics throughout all this series and say, oh, he's talking about Kendrick this and talk. No, this is the only bar that he's really talking about Kendrick Lamar. He says, I apologize, drop me way out of the top 3. No problem. I'm probably my best when they doubt me. Watch me, watch me, watch me. That's it. You know what I mean? So yeah, he references him apologizing to Kendrick Lamar and how it took him out of the top 3 because whether they said, "Oh, you're talking all this tough stuff. You've dropped 7 minute drill. It didn't. It flopped." And then you deleted the track, and then you apologize to Kendrick Lamar. It's like you dropped out of the battle, which I don't wrong him for doing. Maybe he just didn't feel like, you know what, this is not really my battle. Yeah, I said what I had to say, but then if you go back to first person shooter, he was throwing the shots. Him and Drake, even though Drake may have not been throwing too much shots, you're a part of it. You know what I mean? But you're throwing the shots. So that's why people are kind of like, oh man, why you dropped out, you ran from the fight, I'm like, which me personally, I'd rather him do that than what Drake did. You know what I mean? But okay, fine. He just realized, you know what? I'm gonna drop out. This battle. It doesn't feel right. It's not for me. Right. It's not for me. I don't want to fight with Kendrick in this side, and that's fine. He apologized, like, what's wrong with that? But anyways, like, we're gonna.
So pre lawsuit, Drake
Yeah.
gets no ratings at all for even trying to
He
step
done.
to
Hold on.
Kendrick. I'm just
Well,
asking.
hold
I
on.
didn't
Okay.
get
Hold
a chance
on.
to finish my question. I'm just asking a simple question. Why are you telling me to hold on? Can I finish my
Well, let
question
me.
before you
Well,
tell me to
if
hold
I'm
on?
gonna answer
I'm
your question,
asking
you
you
were
a question. Just let me finish the question
boy. You
before you
just
respond. Why you
joking.
interrupt? I'm
I'm.
just simply asking the question: does Drake get any ratings for staying in the battle and trying to go at Kendrick Lamar? Even though does he get any ratings for at least before the suing?
He
That's all
does.
I want
Yeah,
to
he
say.
does get the ratings. He does, but that's all taken away when you file that lawsuit. and petitioned
Right, right,
to
right.
work your star magic to think that UMG is gonna bow down to you to take off a track that's making them money. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on, Drake, you know the game. What are you doing? This is rap battle. You said you study rap battles for a living. Every day they talk about this on the internet. Drake, you study. Well, he called him a PDF. Drake called somebody a PDF file. Do people remember that? No, they don't. Because Drake can say whatever he wants to say. This is what I'm talking about. I don't hate Drake, I don't hate him, but when I see the hypocrisy, we gotta call it out. People are gonna call it my hypocrisy, call it your hypocrisy. As long as they're calling it out, they don't hate you, they love you. If you're calling it out, they love it because they want you to change. They're calling out the nonsense, they're calling out your wrongs, and they just want you to make a better decision and make changes and repent and change your mind on that. Drake's situation, and we're gonna get into the appeal because I don't want to talk to. We're gonna don't want to talk too much because I got a lot to say about that appeal, but that's to answer your question. Yes, he
Until
does get
he until
ratings
he until he sued. Okay, I got you.
until he
Okay,
sued.
so
That went out the window. That went out the window. You shouldn't even have fought. If you shouldn't have fought. Then you fought. You got and you. It's not. It's not like you. It's not like Kendrick taunted you. You taunted him. He only dropped one bar.
but
My
they've been
F the
going
big three
they've
is
been
just
going
big
back and
me.
forth for a
That's
decade.
it.
We know that, right?
That's it, bro. What?
They've been going back and forth for a decade before that.
Yes, yes, but
So you can't
they've all
say
hold
that
on, hold on.
he taunted.
You're
You
not
said
letting
the
me
word
speak.
taunted.
Hold on, you're not letting me speak.
You said
Yes, they've been
the
going
word
back and
taunted.
forth, but they have been hold on, let me speak. Yes, they've been back and forth, but there's times where they were cool with they were cordial with each other. That's why Drake was at the Mr. Morale show at the Scotiabank Theater. That doesn't mean that Kendrick was all up in his face. No, but you can tell there's a little bit of cordialness, like tolerance, right? Until the first person shooter track came out, and then that changed. Okay, so let's just look at the facts here. You know what I mean?
I don't think they were ever cool, to be honest with you.
So
I don't think they were
what would
cool.
Drake show? Okay, so what would Drake show up to the show then if they
I
weren't?
think
If
in
there wasn't a
Drake's
level
mind,
of hold
I
on,
think
if there
in
wasn't
Drake
hold on, if there wasn't a level of tolerance, he would not have showed up at the Scotiabank Arena in boxes to watch the Mr. Morale show. He was there. If people don't
I
want to
think
believe it,
in
go check the
Drake's
internet. He was there.
I think in Drake's mind, he thought they may have been cool, but in Kendrick's
Exactly.
mind the whole time, they've never been cool. That's what I'm
But
trying to say.
what happened? What happened is because of the
Well,
control
that's the
situation.
$1,000,000 question. You know what? Again, I think I said this in previous live streams, and I'll say it again to this day. I think the fact that Drake put on Kendrick Lamar to an extent,
He did not. But
I
anyways, keep
wouldn't say
on.
that bothers him, but I think more so that Drake doesn't. Drake obviously takes rap very seriously, but he doesn't take it serious to the extent as someone like Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean?
Or
Like
J.
some of his
Cole or any
antics.
other artist that came before him that really fought for
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah.
No, he doesn't
I
take it
think
that
that's
serious.
why. That's just
He,
my. That's but again, what do I know? Like I don't really know, but that's just my perception after
yeah.
listening to these guys the last like 10 plus, almost going
Yeah,
on
makes
like
sense.
15
Yeah.
plus years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but go on, yeah. So next
Yeah.
track, let's just.
But that's the end
But
of
go
that
on,
track.
yeah.
So we'll move
Yeah,
into
Golden Goose. This is the big one right here.
is
This
that
is
the
the
next
big one
track?
right here.
Hold
Golden
on.
Goose.
So that hold on. Let
That's the
me
next track.
yeah, Golden Goose. This is my track right here. Okay, so this is I still
Golden
haven't
Goose
found
is the
the
next track.
I still haven't found the Black Rob track. It's on his off of his album. I don't know if it's a Canada Live track. I don't can't remember what, but I know it's a Black Rob sample. Right? So um yeah, okay, so it's called Golden Goose rap smoothly over Black Rob and Locks Can I Live. Yeah. Yes, it's Black Rob and the Locks. 'Cause remember I said that to you the
That's
other
what the
day.
Jadakiss.
Yeah,
I'll just say it first. That's what the why Jadakiss was defending J. Cole in the
right.
Fat Joe pod, like in that podcast clip. You know what I mean? Because
Right,
he went
yeah.
crazy on this beat, and that's what Jadakiss is saying. Like, what, Fat Joe, you tripping? Fat Joe probably didn't even listen to the track as of yet. That's the way he was sounding. Because once you listen to the song, it's like, bro, You seriously don't think that J. Cole fell off after listening to this track? There's no way this guy fell off. No way. No way. Just because he bought out the battle, there's no way that this guy fell off. He ain't going nowhere. It's just that simple.
Yeah,
But
they called him like J
breaking this
Fold, and he
down.
stayed.
Yeah. Yeah, J Fold. That's crazy.
Yeah, they called him Jay Fold for a long
That's a good
time, and I
one.
didn't really care that he backed out. To be honest, I really did not care. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, okay, like you just didn't want to fight. You apologize to Kendrick, and that's fine. And then they want to put J Cole against Kendrick. Why? This makes no sense because he doesn't have an issue with Kendrick. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would like? But anyways, that's I don't want to skip past the lyrics part that we're going to be breaking down right now. But this is my track.
Because yeah,
This
I
is my
mean, for me,
favorite track off the
it starts off good. I think the first bar that kind of hits is this one for me. Wait a second. Actually, before
Is
that,
there like a delay? Because like when I'm talking, like you're like cutting me off. Is there like a delay?
yeah, well, low key, I am cutting you off because we're trying to like kind of keep the show moving. You know what I mean? And you kind of keep like skipping back. You're like going backwards. We're trying to go forwards. We'll get to the Drake stuff. Like you keep kind of like jabbing at him. Hello.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm not jabbing at him in a sense. You asked me questions about this, but okay. So let's stay focused on the lyrics, and then we'll talk about the Drake appeal after because you asked me questions about concerning back to the battle, you know what I mean, and back to the appeal and all that stuff. So maybe we'll just stay focused on that, and then I won't have to indulge in going back into backwards kind of thing, right? So
I'm just kidding with you, man. Like it's not that like
oh, okay.
you don't gotta get
All
that
right.
serious. Like it's
Well,
not
you
that
sounded
it's
serious.
just
You sounded serious. You weren't
taking
joking
it
and
so
laughing.
serious. They're just literally it's just a rap battle. It has nothing to do with you,
No,
me,
I'm not. I'm
anybody.
not taking it.
You're
It's
taking
not.
it like
I've gotten.
so seriously though. Like you're taking this it sounds I can hear it in your like you sound like you're like getting very riled up over this like rap battle type
I'm
vibes.
not. I'm not wild, but I just feel that you cutting me off is kind of rude. So I'm trying. Like I just thought maybe there's like a delay, but like I just feel like you continuously cut me off, and I'm trying to like get through the. I don't want to go backwards. I'm not angry. Trust me. I was worse than this when the battle first happened. I've actually calmed down. I've actually scaled back from
But
this,
it just
and
sounds
I
like you're
don't
taking
even
it kind
want
of
to
personal.
talk about it. See that you're doing it again. I didn't even want to talk about it too much. Like I tried my best to get out of this because I'm trying to. We're all the world. You can tell us we're trying to move on from this battle. It happened 2 years ago, but it keeps on coming up now because this guy just won't let go of this battle and continues to go through this appeal. You know what I mean? But anyways, but it's okay. So we won't. I'm not taking it. I'm not angry and upset. Oh, taking it too serious. No, let's just get through the lyrics because I find this track is really dope. I really like it because I like the beat. I like the flow. Um, do you want to maybe start off with the first couple lyrics or?
Well, like I was okay, so I'll now say that the first lyric that caught my attention was this lyric that I have highlighted on the screen saying that for crumbs, dumb niggas sold they soul to Lucian. Universal distribution, but I own the music. So when you just gotta go listen to the actual track. Me reading it doesn't hit as hard as him saying it on the track with the beat. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that line, those two lines, is a direct shot at Drake. Direct, direct. If you can see on the right hand side, the annotation says J. Cole's referencing 360 deals, locking rappers into long term deals that favor the record execs like Lucian Grange. Drake is on a 360 deal with Lucian Grange and Universal worth $440 million. This line could be understood to be directed at Drake after Drake turned on Cole in the song Family Matters, rapping, a nigga Cole losing sleep on this, it ain't me. So, how do you feel about that?
Well, I already knew. I knew exactly that he was talking about Drake, right? As we talked behind the scenes, I did tell you this. This is what it was. I know some people thought it was Drake, Kendrick. I'm like, no, these directly talking about Drake. And to be fair, it could be other rappers who that signed themselves to 360 deals, as you said, and that sell themselves out to Lucian. Drake could be the only one, but the most notable, biggest one is Drake signing that $400 million deal. And to kind of fast forward into that lawsuit situation, because his lyrics,
See,
to give more context, I have to give context, right? To base upon the $400 million deal, to explain why he may be coming to about telling this could be about Drake, is the fact he signed that $400 million deal. In the part of that lawsuit, if you guys go look at it, Lucian sent a I forgot what it's called, but he said it to the sent it to the courts, said that Universal owns the rights of Drake's catalog. So that's why that could be a direct bar to Drake. A direct, because you sold all your stuff for that one and gave it all up to Universal. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so that's what it talks about. So what else? Also caught my attention is the universal distribution by Own the Music. Now, some people could say, "Whoa, was he talking about? Is he talking about Kendrick too?" Because no, J Cole also has a distribution with Universal. Dreamville they do through Interscope, which is a subsidiary of Universal. I think that deal is done now, but he did have a distribution. So he's talking about himself. He says Universal distribution, but I own the music. Just like, because it would be hypocritical for him to shot Kendrick to that, where Kendrick, you and Kendrick both have distribution deals with Universal, but you guys both own your IP. And that's when I brought up, when we were talking behind the scenes on ourselves, when I brought up the squabble up lyric, because this is the combat anybody that comes to your comments saying that he's talking about Kendrick Lamar. No, he's not. Because if you go back to squabble up, he says, woke up looking for the broccoli, high key, keep a horn on me, that Kamasi, IP ownership, the blueprint is by me. That's talking about his IP is intellectual property ownership. He owns the music and the blueprint is by him, meaning he wrote it. Just like when you go back to J. Cole's bar, okay, we're going to go back to that bar. He says universal distribution, but I own the music. But Ninja's still breathing, like living no confusion. Hop on every Ninja song, abuse it. Talking about Drake as well. Drake hops on every single person's song and abuses it. Okay. Catch bodies up for my own amusement. Okay, Ninja's cheating, and I won't excuse it. So he's talking about the cheating, what's going on with the bots and everything. They're probably gonna say Kendrick. No, it's Drake, because Drake has just been exposed based upon the all the legal stuff that's going on with him and Aiden Ross and the stake and all the stuff with Spotify, the class action lawsuits of Spotify, and using Drake as an example with the botting of the streams, and they have proof for that and stuff like that. So that's what he's talking about. And then he says, if I said it, then I wrote it. Stupid. If I said it, then I wrote it. Stupid. Okay. So that's another shot saying that I write message. So just to flash forward, rewind back to squabble up when Kendra says IP, the blueprint is by me. I mean, I write my stuff too. Everything's by me. IP ownership, the blueprint is by me. Mr. Get off at my feet. So he's like, I write my stuff too. I own it. I have the ownership. I have the intellectual property. You see what I'm saying? So, and the same thing that J. Cole is saying. J. Cole and Kendrick can say that because they write their own stuff. They own their music. They only have distribution. Okay, so that's where that connects with that lyric. Okay. So any Amari, do you have anything else to say concerning those bars?
no, I was just letting you finish. I didn't want to cut you off. Right.
Okay.
So, what I'm gonna say is, yeah, I agree. Like, I agree with the metaphor you referred to with the squabble up. Absolutely, it makes sense. Yeah, hop on every song, abuse it, like you said. Certain guys just be on every song. You know what I mean? Just collaborating, but
Mhm.
uh
That's a
let's
that's
be
a that's a
realistic.
Drake this. That's a Drake this. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But what I was gonna say is, let's be realistic.
Mhm.
I'd say in the last, maybe, like, he's cut down. He's cut down. Like when he was back in the days when he was like doing the JB Block Boys and the Like who else did he collab with? Some just like one-off collabs. Like he was just with everybody, giving everybody a stimulus package. Like everybody was getting a track from this guy. Everybody
Can I tell
kind
you
of
something?
stopped.
No, I didn't. Can I tell you
Uh,
something? Can I tell you
oh,
something?
okay.
It didn't
Oh,
stop.
okay.
No,
Okay.
no. Okay?
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. People don't pay attention. They're
I
not really
said, well,
doing
okay,
research.
but
And that didn't
I would
stop.
say,
No, that did not. Omari Styles, that did not stop. He just did a track with 21 Savage just a couple months
but
ago.
that's he. All he's been doing tracks with 21 Savage.
Okay, but
You know
you
what I mean?
said that he's
They
not
had a
he
whole they
does
had a
that has
whole
not
mixtape together.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean that he's not giving. That's still giving out features. He gave out a feature to Playboy Cardi, but hasn't been released. Okay, he giving out features just last year with Party Next Door. He did a whole album with Party Next Door, even though that's his artist. I understand, but that's still giving out
Yeah, that's
features
his
and working
artist.
with and collaborating. He still did tracks with
Okay,
that were
but
leaked through the hold on that were leaked through the what's it called? Leaked through the whole thing that he dropped. What's it called again? He dropped something in 2024. All the stuff
oh,
that he dropped.
with Young Thug and all them,
Yeah, Young
Circadian.
Sun, Lotto. He dropped
I know
tracks
what you're
with
talking. Yeah.
yeah, with Cabello girl. The Hey Guan Dalila. Like the features haven't stopped. The features have not stopped. He has not stopped giving out features. So no, it's like no, it's still going on. He's still hopping on everybody's track. He's still doing it. Maybe it stopped as of this year. Maybe you won't hear him maybe doing it because he's probably working on his own stuff, right? But that has not stopped. So if you would like, I don't want to get too off track, but it's another thing when they're talking. Oh, Jake's been gone for all this time. He's been saying, what do you mean? He's still outside making music. Like you know what I mean? That's another. He dropped like 50, almost 50 tracks last year, and from since the battle ended. You know what I mean? So it's like it just wasn't hitting as much as it used to. He doesn't have that universal pull like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's still handing out features. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, any other lyrics that stand out to you? Like
Interrupted again. But anyways, all I'm
I
saying
didn't
is
think
that
so.
word every is kind of objective. It's subjective. So when I hear the word every in that context, to me, I would say in the last what year, the amount of features that he's done versus 2016, 10 years ago, has and again, the Party Next Door is his artist, like you said. 21 Savage is like he's been doing tracks with 21 Savage. But back in the day, 2016 times, it seems like he was just going everywhere. He was doing tracks with everybody, like dudes from all over the place. He's doing tracks with all over the United States, all over gigs. Remember, he was doing tracks with guys in UK, doing tracks with guys all over. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I hear
He did
you.
the
I hear what you're
track with
saying,
Rod
especially.
Wave. He did a track with what Rod Wave? Didn't he do the track with Rod Wave?
I didn't even hear that one.
I
Again,
think
you're
he
right.
did.
He does do a lot of music. He does spread
Yeah,
himself a
that's what I'm
little
talking
thin,
about. Hasn't
for sure.
stopped.
I get what you're
Hasn't
saying. I get what you're
stopped.
saying. I'm just saying
Yeah.
though, but don't forget, don't lose sight of my point. The amount that he's done in let's just say like 2016 versus a year like 2025, I would argue is far less. That's all I'm trying to say. So I get it what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but that's just all I want to add in there. But to answer your question there, any other lyrics that stuck out for me. The whole goal thing, he kind of like goes back to ghostwriting, you know what I mean? Word here. So, yeah, he says, if I said it, then I wrote it, stupid.
Hmm.
Like literally, you know who he's talking about right there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
I
he's
just
very
explained that. Yeah.
sorry, yeah. So yeah, that did stand out to me as well too, like you were saying. The Converse shoes, like you're saying as well too. Yeah, all of that stood out to me as well. So Anything else on this track? Sorry, let me just go. Yeah, and then I like how he does a little, the entendres and stuff like that. Like he talked about Ruth Chris and all this type of stuff. Cole is more see more beef than the folks at Ruth Chris, you know what I mean? Alluding to Ruth Chris, the steakhouse, right? How they
Yeah.
serve beef, right? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I like how he mixes in the disses and with the double entendres and stuff like that. I think that's really creative. Da-da-da.
They like I like that bar that they like, can I kick it? Like the wrote of like they wrote Q-tip, sure. But I like that bar. I kind of like that bar.
Yeah,
But
that's a
just
good
know,
one
baby, we
too.
don't open doors for Cupid. I like that. I like that. That's
Yeah, that's a good one too.
mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Okay. I guess we can go to the next track. Oh man, don't forget about this one. Don't gamble with your life because the ops is cruising. Word to Mike, your dog get for losing. I
Your
like
dog
that
might
one
get
as
shot
well.
for losing. That's dope though. That was a dope bar.
Right? Because Mike Vick,
Yeah.
if you remember Mike Vick and his case and all that he went through with the dogs. So yeah, that
The
was
dog
pretty.
fighting?
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then remember, boy named his album For All the Dogs, right? So
Yeah.
he could be alluding to more Drake talk there.
Yeah.
And then he says something about the bots is boosting. I think that was the one that we were kind of going back and forth on. The bots is boosting was more. For a second, it could be about Kendrick, but
It's not about
you
Kendrick.
after further review, seemingly
Yeah.
it's most likely again referring to Drake just off of the
Yeah, but it could be
that we're looking at
referring
now. Use this.
to, sorry to cut you off there, yeah. But it could be referring to other artists that like they're boosting up their streams, but then when they're going to the
Yeah,
concert,
I
like
agree.
there's no. But then another thing, that people are saying is it's a shot to Drake because of Drake is like he has all these millions of streams, but you're only doing arenas. You only selling you only doing arenas, but then you had to cancel some of your tours in Australia because they weren't selling, kind of thing. You know what I mean? They blamed it on logistics, but that's not the truth. So that's why they're saying like, yo, like the math ain't math because you're juicing. That mean the bots is boosted. So there's no way he could be talking about Kendrick because we went to that Kendrick show packed like a pack and it was sold out. Every show that guy had around the world, North America, South America, Australia, and Europe, every show sold out. So he could no way those bars are talking about Kendrick. So anybody breaking down these lyrics or saying that is lying because they're not looking at the facts and statistics, knowing that like there there's no way that's talking about Kendrick. You know what I mean? So yeah, Drake, the jig is up. Like you're boosting, man. Like you're like the most streamed artist, rap artist, and you can't do stadiums. You can't even sell like you said like yeah you draw people to your arenas, but then you have to cancel all those shows in Australia. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
another thing people are talking about. Like, what's going on here? So that's
right,
another thing. That's just boosting the streams. That's what I talked about earlier, giving more context when people listen so they can go and do the research and say, yo,
right,
there are several class action suits against Drake. Ones that's has his name in it, and others that are using him as an example. The one that Dr. Dre's cousin filed. Or Snoop
yeah,
Dogg's cousin, sorry. Snoop Dogg's cousin filed. Right? Snoop Dogg's cousin filed a class action suit. And they use Drake as example because, as he said, he's the most streamed artist, rap artist,
right,
or one of the most streamed. He probably is the most streamed artist in Spotify. And he said, "Yo, they're boosting him, and they're not getting, and all the other artists are suffering." You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying.
right,
Giving context, and we have to talk. Drake's tied up in a lot of lawsuits right now, and there's a lot more.
right.
And I don't. I hope there's no more, because I don't hate Drake. I just what I mean. We just gotta call out certain
Okay,
things that he's doing. I don't hate him. You know what I
got
mean?
you.
And I feel that throughout this whole battle, you say certain things, you make certain jokes online, and you get attacked, and mostly men attacking me, and I don't understand over somebody they don't even know. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like you can't voice your opinions about these things anymore because people are just so parasocial and crazy. They attack you on it and say awkward. They don't even know me from Adam, guy. They don't even know me. They don't know where I live. They don't know. You know what I mean? Half of these people. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, it's getting crazy. That's why I stopped like commenting on these things about this lawsuit about Drake and I just stopped because it's just I get
Okay,
attacked by
okay.
men mostly, not even
Yeah,
women, which is
we're
weird.
gonna get to
But
that. We're
anyways,
gonna get
I don't
there.
want to. As I said, I don't want to.
We're gonna get to the
We'll get to
Drake
that. We'll
stuff,
get to the
right?
PO. We'll get to the
But
PO
yeah,
later.
so
Next track.
like we're saying though, like that's a
Yeah,
good point, right? Like he's talking
yeah,
about the streams, right? And the
right,
tours. The fact that the streams are so high, but the tours are so low. So
right.
that's a
Canceling tours.
good,
Yeah,
that's a really tough bar
yeah,
right there. Again, more
yeah.
shots
It
to
is.
Drake.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I think another one that you said you liked was the Usher Raymond line at the bottom, right? At the very end. Don't be
Um.
silly, want that chilly chill similar to Usher Raymond when he sang in the
Yeah, yeah,
rain.
yeah. Because he
You
was
got it
singing in the
bad?
rain and
Classic. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, the whole chili bar. Yeah, don't be silly. You want the chili similar to Usher. Yeah, he's talking about chili. You want that style. You want his sweat. You want the style. But then I used to say it's a double entendre, talking about just like Usher wanted chili back kind of thing. Okay, so when he sang in the rain, money bring respect in this game,
Yeah.
which is true. Yeah, ain't it a shame how them things interchange? Yeah, this is a dope track. This was a fire track. I really like it. But
It
you
really
skipped
was.
one bar. Yeah, no, this was
Which
a
one?
fire track. You skipped a couple bars, which actually really caught my eye
Which
too.
one?
It says so they stay. It says when you talk about the Mike Vick bar, and then he says so I
Yeah, we
stay in
talked
my
about that.
lane. No,
Yeah.
hold on. I just I said, yeah, we just talked about the Mike Vick one. It says, and then after he says, so I stay in my lane despite every bit of dirt thrown on my name. There never be a
Yeah.
stain on my name. It's why I walk around dolly as if ain't nothing changed without a chain on my frame. Ninjas can never know the pain of Jermaine, but I can name a thing that I ain't overcame. I despise my celebrity and ain't into fame. Now that reminds me
Mm.
when Kendrick says like, "Yo, only you like to be famous." When he was talking about to Drake in the diss track, only you like to be famous. So that kind of reminds me of that when J Cole said that, because J Cole has the same mindset with Kendrick when it comes to that, and and it brings me back to this interview that Drake did with what's the guy's name, Elliot whatever, and the other guy B Dot, and I think his name's B Dot. I can't remember. And he was talking about J. Cole and Kendrick. He's like, oh well, they do this rapping, but they go to their families. They go to but I really live this thing, man. And that's what it brought me to that. It's like J. Cole and Kendrick are both answering him to that interview that happened years ago, you know what I mean? Back in 2018, you know? So that's what I'm saying, and I'm like, that brings me back to that interview, and he was talking about how, oh, they go off to their life and their kids and their wife and their home, you know what I mean? But I'm in the studio working and I'm living this rap star life, that fame, you know what I mean? And J. Cole and Kendrick both says only you. They don't like to be famous. Only you like to be famous. And it's like they're both taking that. That's his. It's like J. Cole's turn to show that shot. To throw that shot back. But anyways, that's just me. Maybe I'm reaching, but I just saw the connection. Sometimes there's certain things will connect on what they're saying years later. So maybe that's one of the connections. So yeah, but I just want to bring it back up that track, that lyrics. That really caught my eye too. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you
So no,
go.
that's a good catch. I didn't make
Yeah.
the connection when I heard that originally. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
Am I
ready to move
reaching?
on to the next
I don't
one?
know. Winter Storm freestyle. Yeah.
So you don't want to do the 9-9 build? You're good on that one?
Oh no, we'll go to 99, but this is not the last one. 99 Bill's the last one. Winter Storm
Okay.
freestyle. So this is okay, so another Diddy production, Bad Boy production. This is the Who Shot You, this is the you know the Biggie
Classic.
thing, classic track where everybody thought he was talking about Tupac, but I don't know. But anyways, we heard that he wasn't. But this is a classic track. Who shot? Do you remember the lyrics? What Biggie talks about? Yeah. Anyways, I don't remember the lyrics.
Of
So we'd have to pull it
course,
up.
by heart. I can still
Okay.
recite that by heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so any standout lyrics on this?
Um. I got brand new agenda, trying to keep up with your boy Harley. I don't know. Nothing really popped out to me with this track. Did anything pop up with you? Nothing really popped out with me.
Yeah,
He's
just
just talking.
spitting.
He's talking. He's
He just
spitting. Yeah.
flowing.
That's right.
He's
Yeah.
spitting
I
and
feel like
flowing
L'Oreal and Harry
like
ran
just
through
straight
these
up.
ninjas. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that popped out to me. That's it. Yeah. The song is more like it's just showing his skills. You know what I mean? It's showing his skills, so which is
yeah,
good.
exactly. I
This
feel
is
like
a
this
good
is just
track.
straight
Yeah.
showing his skills. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time on this one. Um,
I'm just reading
okay,
it real quick because I
continue.
listened to it, but I don't recall anything that like super stood out. I just remember it just sounded good. He was flowing very nicely on it. Yeah. So okay, yeah, we can move on then if nothing really.
Yeah, nothing really. I'm just by the need of commas, like I run on sentence, like I run
Yeah,
on
that was
sentence.
like when I first heard that, I'm like, wait, what? I had to rewind it. Like, wait, what?
Yeah,
And then I listened to it again. I'm like, oh, dope.
yeah, but what does he mean by like I'm desperate in need of commas, like I run on a sentence,
Like a run on sentence. You know, a run on
like a run on
sentence.
sentence,
It
like
means
yeah, like when you run on a sentence, you
okay.
have to add a
You want to?
comma or
Yeah. Go
yeah
ahead.
to cut the sentence. Yeah, okay, like a
Go
run on
ahead.
sentence.
Yeah.
We're trying to see greener pastures because preteens blast you. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, talk about teens killing the older. Yeah, it's not a lot of talking, but the gun's long winded. No strap on my body. I'm an unarmed menace. Okay, so he doesn't run with the gun thing. Okay, all right, but no, but that was dope. That was dope. So the who shot you was dope. That was just like
So
yeah.
that
The
was dope.
sorry, Winter
Same way
Storm.
the way he was flowing, he's showing off on this one.
Yeah, just showing off his skills. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's
That
just
was
showing
dope.
off on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one. So we'll wrap up the J. Cole talk right now after this
What's the last
last
track?
song.
99 built freestyle. Okay.
Yeah, it's just loading here.
So this is off of Money, Power, Respect beat, which is sick. Oh my god, I love this
Yes,
track.
so that's why
This brings me
Jadakiss was
back.
rocking. That's why Jadakiss was rocking with it, and Fat Joe was not.
Now
Yeah,
this was actually, if you look at the production, T
because J
minus,
Cole took the money, power, respect.
yeah. But if you look at the
Yeah.
production, T minus, which is a Canadian producer who works with Drake a lot, actually just I guess reproduced this track. You know, if you look at that, that's interesting. Yeah,
Wow, I
he's a
didn't know that.
Canadian. Yeah, T minus. Yeah, he works with Drake a lot. He's from Canada. From they say he's from Ajax. Yeah. So, but that yeah, it looks like he remixed this DJ Clue remixed this track, even though it's original. The sample is the Locks Money Power Respect, which featured, as you know, the Locks, DMX, Little Kim. Um, dope track, classic, just classic. Brings me back to high.
Yeah,
Anyways, brings back to
super
school day.
classic.
I
I had
don't
this
want
album.
to leave out school days. I don't want to tell my age, but anyways, yeah, it just yeah, just it's very very high nostalgic track. Really dope. This track was dope. And did anything stand out to you with this track?
Just this is interdimensional talk. That was pretty dope. You know,
Yeah.
talking about orbiting the Earth,
Hmm.
right? Talking about SETI. What else? He's talking about alternate dimension. He got lost in this one. He's looking for a portal that works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just more lyrical prowess overall. Um,
Okay.
yeah, that's all.
Um,
I wouldn't really say
a few things
he
he
went
didn't
too
do.
like into the battle, into the beef per se, but he just kind of showing off his lyrical prowess. Like not a lot of people on this earth can do this. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
Yeah,
it's dope. It's dope.
yeah. There's some gangster, a little bit of gangsterism in this track. I'll give you an example. Play my album for the corpse in the hearse. It's so alive, the flow can make the rigor mortis on the mortal reverse. These ninjas reckless trying to disrespect the Lord of the church. Get disconnected from your search just like a cord at your birth. So kind of like gangster. Kill him up. You got to murder. Kind of
Gangster, but at the
gangster
same
track.
time, more intelligent,
Yeah.
a
So
little bit more
yeah, like, but I
intelligent.
do have a couple more. Just give me one moment. Sorry. Um. Yeah, and it's just, from an alternative dimension, I got lost inside of this one. Now I'm walking around looking for the portal. That's the one that you just talked about. So that one was an interesting one. The one that really stuck out,
Yeah.
he did do the Jeffrey Dahmer type bar, which wasn't too keen on that one. I didn't like that. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I guess it rhymes. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, no, like I know, it's a lot of like, oh, I'm, death talk kind of thing. You know what I mean? Not my thing. You know what I mean? But now, one last thing. Sorry, I'm going to bring up the lyric because I was watching a couple commentaries, and they said that people were saying on Twitter, which I don't go on. I don't go on actual Twitter, but I don't know if it's actual Twitter or Instagram. I'm not sure where saw this from, but they said that he's talking about Kendrick in this. Brian, I'm like, how? He says, I fell back. My dog in heaven pushing Hellcats would tell you from the beginning. I wonder how could I dodge it. Now, how did they get this that he's talking about? Because Kendrick talked about Hellcats and stuff like that in Euphoria. Now, Kendrick's not the only rapper that talks about Hellcat. Hellcat, as you know, it's a car, right? It's a certain type of car. As you know, in the Euphoria bar, he used it in the double entendres. It's very triple entendre, but I don't know with that whole bar, right? So just because J. Cole said it, that doesn't mean he's talking to Kendrick. You know what I mean? So please squash that, you guys. No, that's foolishness. He's not talking about Kendrick in that track, but in this bar, okay? He's not Kendrick's not the only one that talks about Hellcats, okay? So let's just stop that narrative. I don't want that narrative to seep over here because we don't subscribe to those foolishness, right? So no, that's not what he's talking about. But anyways, game ain't neither, so it's easy for me to pause it. With one verse, I dissemble narratives. Your theories get killed. The murder weapon was a superior skill. That was dope. That was dope. That was a dope bar as well. So yeah. So anything else stand out to you?
Yeah, this kind of does stand out, but I agree it doesn't really um like just that one word Hellcat. Just because he says it here and Kendrick says it in Euphoria, I'm not really tying it together. I'm not
Exactly.
really tying it to J. Cole dissing Kendrick. So yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
bit vague, I must say. I don't know who he's talking
Exactly.
about here specifically. Yeah, but overall, I think the track
Yeah.
was dope. Overall, I think the track was
Yeah,
dope.
it
I
was a dope.
enjoyed
It
it.
was a
So
dope one. Oh, sorry. Before we go into the next topic, sorry. This bar, we missed a very big bar in this one. He says, outside the music, I'm as cool as a water faucet. I stay to myself. I ain't talkative. Y'all taught me not to have a heart to heart with a monster. Tell they all too heartless, like skeletons that these fellas locked in the closet. So this could be a Drake bar, or just rappers, certain rappers that he was around, or certain people he was around in the industry. That could be another shot as well. So that's just something that I just wanted to talk about quickly because I was watching some other commenters that were talking about that bar and it kind of stuck out. I'm like, oh, okay, because heart to heart, I think they brought it back to Port
oh,
Otonio. They brought it back to
yeah.
Port Otonio, but me, I heard that heart to heart went in the heart part six, Kendrick's version of heart part six, when you have a heart to heart, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's talking about Kendrick, right? Or it could be more people are more leaning on the lines of him talking about Drake on that because of the Port Otonio track he dropped last year. That or the year is it last year or the year
Yeah,
before? I can't remember. But
year before. Yeah,
that's what people are that's what people were kind of tying that track to this bar. But anyways, that I just wanted
right.
to touch that quickly. So
No, that's a good one. That's a good catch. I didn't even really even
yeah.
catch that one. To be honest with you. Okay, well, that's what's up, man. So yeah, we can move on to the Kendrick stuff. That
Okay.
is the next hot topic of conversation here. How Kendrick actually has been nominated for how many Grammys? Like nine or something?
They said about
Some
nine.
crazy number.
Well,
9 Grammys again? That's
yeah,
crazy. So what's your
yeah.
prediction? What's your over under on Kendrick's Grammys this year?
Um, I just feel like I'm not really too into the Grammys this year because last year was just epic. It was very good last year. But I feel that Kendrick, yeah, he will get one or two awards, but I don't feel that he's gonna get as much as he did last year, because there's so many other competitions, so many other great albums that came out. I feel that I believe that the Clips will get one. Kendrick and SZA will get one because Luther was a big song, and GNX was probably one of the best rap albums that came out within the past 2 years. You know what I mean? So they may win best rap album. Kendrick may win best rap album. But album of the year, I'm not too sure because he has stiff competition with Lady Gaga and Bad Bunny and stuff like that. Record of the year, that too. He has stiff competition. So I don't see him really winning too much this year, which is fine. Kendrick swept the Grammys last year. That was his year for the Grammys last year. He did very well. I was proud of him. But this year, no, I don't think he's gonna win too much this year, which is fine. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, the people are gonna make a big fuss. Oh, you didn't win this year, ha ha ha. And like, who cares? Like he swept last year. You know what I mean? So that's fine. Even if he win one or two, that's cool. Like, that's my predictions. I think he only will probably win either one or two. That's it out of the nine.
I'm a little
So
confused though. Didn't he win for GNX last year?
no,
Or
because
was it just
GNX
not like
dropped.
us?
Not like us. GNX dropped in November of 2024. So they missed the Grammys cutoffs. That's why it's in the Grammys this year, which most likely they will win. He probably will win rap album because last year was, I think it was Dolce. Did Dolce win last year? Yeah, I think she won last year. So yeah, most likely it'll be either be Kendrick or between Kendrick, Tyler. Tyler. This is why I'm saying it's tough because Tyler the Creator was
But that's
dropped a really
rap.
good
So you're talking
album.
about rap album of the year or album of
Rap
the year? Because he's
album. We're
nominated
talking
for both.
about rap album right now. Yeah, rap album is quite
Okay,
tough because
because
you got Tyler the
Tyler the
Creator and then you have
Creator
the
is
Clips,
nominated
right?
for both
Yeah, so
album
you
of
have
the
those
year
two.
and rap album of the year. So you're talking about rap album of the year, right? Because if you look at my screen, I have it up. It's the FanDuel site, right? You can even bet on this right now. It's pretty crazy,
Yeah, so I feel
right?
that
So yeah, you have
my predictions is Kendrick will win about 2 Grammys. So he'll probably win for
two.
two, yeah, maybe best of
I'm gonna
like
go
duos with him
for.
and
I'm gonna go. He's gonna
mhm,
win. I'm gonna go. He's gonna win about four.
four. Okay. Okay.
I'm going for four.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so yeah, I'm going for four. Naz is going for two. If anybody
Yeah,
wants
we'll
to
go for
bet
two. Yeah, because he
on,
has more competition, so
if
he has
anybody
more
wants to bet
competition.
on the Grammys, they can do so on the FanDuel website. I'm gonna drop my link. So anybody wants to click the link in the live stream, then they could in the live stream description, they can do so. And the heck is this? And yeah, I think to be honest with you, don't sleep on Sabrina Carpenter. She's probably gonna get something too. Don't
Yeah.
sleep on the what's these other guys' names here? Where is it here? The K-pop, those K-pop people, they're heavy favorites to win that song of the year. Who else? Luther might sneak in. I think this is my dark horse right here. This Luther for Song of the Year. This is my sleeper at plus 800. You're getting pretty good odds too. So if you put down $10, for example, right, you can win back $80. If you put down $100, a cool 8 bills. But the max you can wager is $25. So womp womp. You can only win back a 2 bills. I might put down a little 25 still, because I have a good feeling. I don't know. I just have a feeling I'm gonna win Song of the Year. So my predictions are Song of the Year for Kendrick, Rap of the Year for Kendrick, and no, you can't parlay. Unfortunately, you cannot parlay. I know other books you can probably, but FanDuel is not allowing you to parlay the Grammy bets. So it is what it is. But yeah, my I Song of the Year, Rap Album of the Year, and you know what? Let's just go Album of the Year. Let's just go Album of the Year. Why not? Those three, and then they'll throw in another one. They'll throw in another best duo or something. I think he'll get that too. Best pop, best duo, best group or whatever. He's in this one too, right? Best pop duo or no? But bottom line, I'm saying 3, 4 max. You said 2, I'm saying 3, 4 max, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, 30 for 30. He is in best duo. Yeah. Full song, 30 for 30. So I'll go best duo, album of the year, song of the year, rap album of the year. I'll save 3, 4 max. That's my prediction. So we'll leave it at that. Okay. So did you want to move on to the last topic? I know this is near and dear for you. This
It is.
lawsuit.
Well, it's. I'm just quite
This is your
tired of.
baby.
It's my baby
Yeah.
because I'm quite
Your
tired of
expert.
it. It's my
This is your
baby because
expertise.
it's my expertise. Yeah. Now, after I just wanted to give a disclaimer. Okay. I just want to give a disclaimer
Why
right
are you giving
now. Okay.
disclaimers, bro? This
I don't hate Drake. Okay. Just because I'm unbiased or I have a certain griping with certain his decisions, that doesn't mean I hate the man. I don't know him. Okay. I used to enjoy his music. I don't hate him. Okay. So let's that I have to give that disclaimer. Oh, you're throwing shots, you always bashing. No, okay. It's called unbiased. Okay. People have a bias toward an artist and the idol worship and the artist can be doing so much wrong and they still have a bias towards them. Okay. Now, I have an issue with Drake concerning this lawsuit. Yes, I do. Okay. Because of the fact that you, X, Y, and Z did all these things. You engaged in the battle. You threw your shots. You said defamatory things against Kendrick. He did all these things just to come around because he was one step ahead of you and said some slick stuff, but much more better than you. And it blew up. You immediately just like went down the drain with your mind state and all this stuff. I get it. He called you a PDFL, but Drake, he's probably not me listening to this, but whatever. You never know, eh? Because I heard he's
no,
on
he's
the
not,
internet a
man.
lot.
He's not.
He's
Yeah,
not.
but go
But
on.
he's not. He's not. So he's not. Okay, fine. I'm just saying, okay? You yourself has said a lot of things on record. A lot of things. Okay. You said some things that could be damaging. You said some defamatory things against Kendrick, which a lot of these Drake fans, these people don't care about. Don't care about the fact that Drake said this and this and this and this and this and this and this. He doesn't care. They don't care. He made accusations. He threw his shots. He did this. He did that. He taunted Kendrick, wanted him to come out. He dropped 4 tracks, and now you're in desperation mode. And now you're making all these accusations that UMG's came up against you, and all this nonsense. And it's just I'm done talking about it because it's happened 2 years ago. And when he dropped this appeal, I was like, yo, why can't he just let it go and move on? Why? This is far beyond business now because you're spending a lot of money. Lawyers ain't cheap. So I don't want to hear the talk about, oh, is business nonsense. That's a lie. Stop lying to the public. Stop lying to the masses. Because you're bringing up the fact that, it's unprecedented. What did he say? Unprecedented, sorry. He says that the dismissal arguing the judge issued a dangerous ruling that rap can never be defamatory. Drake, if you go down this road, your lyrics are gonna be pick, 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 pick. They're gonna pick and pick and pick at your lyrics. Say, oh, we could take what you're saying to the court of law. You meant this on the record. Drake, did you really catch a body like that? Did you really that this is what he's talking. This is what rappers have been fighting for years about the lyrics of music and um censorship and all that stuff. Okay, I understand that certain things can get at hand, okay, when it comes to lyrics. That's why you pick and choose what you listen to. Okay. Yes, Drake is a brand. He's worth millions of dollars. So I understand the business side of things, but this is going too far, way too far now. It's a rap, but I understand if, Kendrick came up and started dissing you for no reason, and now your house got shot up, and then all you're getting vandalism, you're getting people coming to your house, like all this stuff, you vandalism in your store. I understand that just happened. No, you were in, this is why the judge dismissed it, because you were engaging in a rap battle that you participated in, that you forced into. Okay? You said some things for it. That's why the judge says, hold on here. Why are you only picking and choosing just not like us? Drake, you say this? Didn't you say this? The judge did that. If people were paying attention to this lawsuit, you would know they dug deep. And it didn't even get to a trial. It didn't even get to jury. They already went through what's it called? Discovery. And people are forgetting that Drake asked for Kendrick Lamar's like paternity test for his kids. Are people forgetting Drake asked for that? Paternity test for and asking what his relationship is between him and Dave Free? Drake, he asked the courts that. The courts are like, who the hell are you to even ask? You know what I mean? This is what they're talking about. They dismissed that. They said, no, you don't even need to ask those things. Why? I thought everything was facts, Drake. You said that in Heart Part 6. So you mean to tell me you didn't have the proof? Exactly. Exactly what Drake. This is what he's saying. He's saying they called me the PDF and all these things happened to me. Okay, but Drake, do you know that Kendrick plural that he wasn't just talking about you, and you said that on Taylor Made Freestyle. Talk about me liking young girls. You said, and the judge said that. The judge said that. You told him to say that in Taylor Made Freestyle. Drake thinks that not everybody listens to hip hop. Drake thinks that the chorus only they don't listen to hip hop. They're not gonna dig deep and go into each and every lyric and find out what's the cause of this, the root cause. No, they're gonna pick on the fact that you were in a rap battle. Their argument is that not everybody knows. Like, come on, come on, it's all over the news. It was in the news. They knew that a lot of people knew that you were in a rap battle. You know what I mean? Not just the hip hop fans. So, you know, I'm gonna read the article. I don't know if you want to read it. If you want to, I'm gonna read the article. Do you want to put up the article or hello?
Yeah, I'm
Are you still
listening.
there?
Which article? It's not loading on my end. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay. Well, I have Billboard Canada. Just look at
Yeah,
Billboard
I
Canada.
have it on my computer, but I just like it's on my like it's on my in my browser. Like I'm looking at it, but it just won't upload on the screen. So I don't think we can read it tonight. Maybe another day we can like do some
Well,
more
I
reading.
have it here. Just type
Can you share
into.
your screen?
I can't share my screen because I'm on my laptop and I'm
That's
on
what
my
I'm
phone.
saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I can't share my screen. It's not working for some reason. I've been trying to share it this whole time and it's not working. But
Just
you
type
know,
in Jake appeals
no, I
dismissal.
know that, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm telling you that the attempt, I'm trying to share it on my screen. but I can't. So in my spare time, yes, I will watch it. I'll read it for sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll read it quickly. Okay, so it says,
No, you don't have to
I'm
read it. No, you don't want
no,
to
I'm
just.
gonna no, but okay, but your listeners are gonna need context, on my star. So let me just read a little bit. I won't read everything, but they're gonna need context of what we're talking about, right? Okay, so it says unprecedented Drake appeals dismissal of the lawsuit over Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." Okay, it says the Star's attorney says the dangerous ruling ignored the reality that the song caused millions of people to really think Drake was a pedophile, which I disagree on. I totally disagree on that. But anyways, it says Drake has filed his appeal because how can they prove that millions of people think that? You see what I'm saying? This is why I know this is dangerous. It's dangerous what they're doing. They think it's dangerous what the judge dismissing it. No, it's dangerous what he's doing. And but anyways, this is what I'm talking about when they're trying to flip and gaslight and manipulate. No, that's it. No. Anyways, I'm going to continue. It says Drake has filed his appeal after his lawsuit against Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" was dismissed, arguing that the judge issued a dangerous ruling that rap can never be defamatory. Drake's case, filed last year, claimed that UMG's defamed him by releasing Lamar's chart-topping diss track, which tarred his arch rival as a certified pedophile, but pedophile, sorry. But the federal judge ruled in October that fans wouldn't think that the insults during the rap beef were actually factual statements, which is true. Not a lot of people thought about that. Yes, there were a few people that were online saying, "Oh man, this and this," but he can't prove that everybody thinks that way. Not everybody thinks that way, right? And Drake does have some questionable behavior in the past, which UMG's lawyers did bring that up in the actual lawsuit. They did bring up Drake's past and his behavior with young girls and his relationship with young girls, Millie Bobby Brown, for example. So Drake needs to realize that certain actions that he did that could maybe think, because these rumors were around before the before Kendrick even said it, and I've seen videos of and people talking about it. He's actually gotten some of his lyrics that Kendrick actually talked about. He's gotten off of Twitter. People talking about Drake. You know what I mean? So it's not like oh Kendrick just made it up. No, no, these have been rumors about Drake for a long time, right? So and he knows that. You know what I mean? He really knows that. Okay, so but it's just the fact that Kendrick pluraled it, you know what I mean? So he's not just directly talking about you, Drake. He's talking about you, or it could be anybody in your crew. Baca had a weird case about women and prostitution and human trafficking. He did. It's documented. People researched it. It's real. It's 100% factual, right? So, you know, his argument is like, yo, like, and keep in mind though, rap, he signed a petition against rap lyrics being used in the court of law. So this is why this is very hypocritical. This is why it's upsetting that Drake's doing this, because you're being hypocritical. You said a lot of defamatory things. They even brought that up. You said things about his wife. You said things about Kendrick. You said that he abused his wife, which is dangerous too and defamatory, because you have to prove that. And he obviously he doesn't know. He doesn't know if it's true or not. There's no police record. There's nothing. You see what I'm saying? So he defamed Kendrick too. That is dangerous to call somebody that, especially in this day and time. So he needs to realize this is why I'm saying it's very hypocritical. People need to separate the fandom from what the person is. Okay? Like, yo, like this is not right. You're being hypocritical. And if you dig deeper into Drake, he's alluded to people being pedophiles in the past. He's did it to Aristo, or whatever. I don't know if you remember that, Malcolm. Like Omar Styles years ago.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he went on 93.5 flow. Anybody that that's in Ontario, Toronto, Canada, that understand that if you look back on the internet, because Americans pull up that stuff too, they know internet don't you can't erase everything, right?
Yeah.
So he went on flow 93.5 and said, yo, I said that, but it was just a clever line. He just admit that he was a clever line. He just admit that it wasn't true. He just said it because it was a clever line. He said that's about Aristo. I don't know, like I can't. And they even pulled the song and said, "Yo, he's picking up minors. Picking up minors at Bramley, young girls at Bramley." That's what he said. So you called that guy a freaking pedophile guy. You did it. Just talk about the hypocrisy of Drake and people that are that follow Drake and worship him. Whether it's people that are around him or people that are so into the fandom, they don't see, yo, this guy. Hold on here. He said the same thing. Yeah, you don't know how that damaged Aristo. You don't know what happened with him. He's not even in the business anymore. He's not even a rapper. That's what I heard. They said he's not really rapping. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but you don't know how that could have damaged him. Yo, your words carry weight. Your words are powerful. You see what I'm talking about? And Drake is taking UMG to court for somebody alluding to you being a PDFL. Okay, even though he wasn't talking about you only, Drake. He wasn't talking about you only if you read the lyrics carefully. Okay, and you even said in Taylor Made Freestyle to talk about those things. So he's like, okay, I heard you like them young, Drake. Okay, maybe you shouldn't be texting Millie Bobby Brown, who was 13, 14 years old. If you weren't texting, she wouldn't have revealed on live TV that you guys talk like that. And they wouldn't be digging into your business. And she wouldn't be on your live sending you heart emojis. Drake, like it's just people are not seeing the actions, bro. People wouldn't be saying that all these high school kids are coming to your house, guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know the 17-year-old that was kissed. I don't care. He was 24 years old. Yeah, he was a young buck back then, but you're still an adult. You're still an adult, buddy. So you got to look at those things. You got to look at your actions and why people are saying what they're saying. Okay, and then you're taking this to court. You're blowing up UMG's business, talking about bots, payola. And I look at that, you getting called for the same thing. Hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? Blowing up the whole thing. Pulling UMG into this business. UMG's no saint, of course, as a record business. Drake, you signed the contracts. You signed the contracts. You know. Okay, you signed yourself away, bro. So what do you think? It's business. You gonna tell UMG how to make money? Oh, they need to pull that song because this and no, they see they're making money. It's a business. They're making money just like you make money. You run your business the way you want to run it, right? You're doing this because it's business. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Anyways, so it says also that fans wouldn't think that is okay, but I already said that. In his awaited appeal for the ruling on Wednesday, Drake's lawyer says the exactly what listeners thought. Millions of people understood not like us to convey factual information, causing countless individuals around the globe to believe that Drake was. See, how can you prove that's true, Drake? How can you say that's true? Not everybody believes that. Not everybody knows your business side. Not everybody's digging deep like that. So what they're saying is not even true. It's not factual. Not everybody believes that he is a PETA. Not everybody knows that information. Even when they're listening to it, like, oh, okay, he's just throwing shots. People that understand rap battles, they're just throwing shots. Not all of it's true. Some of it's fabricated. A lot from back from the 80s. Battle rap has always been like that. They just throw shots at each other and may not necessarily be all the way true. Some of it's true, but some of it's not true. You know what I mean? So Drake, like, yo, I understand that. Okay, being called that is very dangerous, but being called a white, like everything that he said leading up to this was dangerous too. So Drake is this is why it gets me upset talking about this because it's just a hypocrisy in it. You know what I mean? You said a lot of damaging things, Drake. Over the years, you said a lot of damaging things. You see what I'm saying? And you signed a petition for rap lyrics to not be used in the court of law. And you're going, and because it's done to you now, it's like you're hypocrisy all over again. It's like you're, oh well, it's done to me, so I can. It's only applies to me, kind of thing. No, who are you? No, you're not like you know what I mean. But anyways, um, so the dismissed Drake's case despite the reality. Okay, so we already talked about that. It's hard to imagine a statement more damage into the one's reputation and safety than being labeled certified, which elates intense vitriol and can spur violent retaliation. Now, tell me something. Tell me something here. Drake's attorney Michael G. writes in the appeal. The court's rule brushes aside the risk of concrete reputational harm that can and here did spill over into violence. Hold on here. Now, they're going to talk about the shooting and stuff like that. And being they're going to bring up the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So I'm not going to get fully into all the details. But if people do their research, Drake has been getting break-ins, people coming to his house. One woman came to his house to try to stab him back in 2019. That's why his if you guys do your research, that's why his builder had to go to the city of Toronto to get the his fences raised, because they fought against that, because it's on, I guess it's against city code or whatever. It's because of his safety. He was getting all these break-ins. People were coming to his house all hours of the night. Woman came there with a knife and tried to stab him up, and he called police many times and it just wasn't working. Now, do keep in mind, Jake probably has a lot of parties. That's probably why, probably upset a girl and the girl want to come stab him. Who knows? You know what I mean? So we don't know. But that happened 5 years before this battle. If people to read, Drake has been getting break-ins from even when he was living in LA. And people, it's all documented. Celebrities go through this all the time. He's a celebrity. So he knows that comes with the territory. That doesn't mean that it's right, but it comes with the territory. Now, this shooting situation, I don't know, because if you guys do further investigation, there was a shooting an hour before his 20 minutes before, 20 minutes away from his house. You know what I mean? So we don't know. We don't know if it's connected. I don't know. It could be a coincidence, but yeah, they're trying to blame it on the rap battle. Well, not necessarily. Two things could be true, two things cannot be true. You know what I mean? Also, they talked about the Weeknd's house being shot up a week before in LA. And it's just retaliation because of their little rift in the city, right? We don't know. This is all internet speculation. What I do know is that his case, and that case that would happen an hour before, it's very close, because two security guards that got hurt. One was killed and one survived. So if you read between the lines with that, do your research on that. Okay. We only look at facts here. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, but he's using this in this case for um for the case of this under UMG, because the fact it happened around the time of the battle, and because the the images of his home was on the internet, even though his house was public knowledge prior to this battle. But I guess they're trying to say that Kendrick amplified it, which is not, which you just throw, Kanye West did put his house out there to it. Drake put his own house out there. His house has been in magazines, publications throughout the world. People know what his house looks like. Many tourists have driven by his home prior to this beef, prior to that shooting. Many people, tourists, have flown out, and people even in the city, outside the city, have driven by the Bridle Path Park Lawn Drive area, because it's open. You can drive by his house anytime. Many tourists have come out there. So that this is it's kind of a weak argument, because of the fact that, your house is already out there, and I think they talked about that in the lawsuit too. So yeah, but anyways, just to kind of end this all, I just don't like the fact that he, you engage in this rap battle, but you decide to use legal action because you lost, and that's was the whole point of them dismisses it. You lost the rap battle, so you're going through all this nonsense, going through all this stuff. You're suing UMG. You know what I mean? You're not suing Kendrick Lamar, which you probably will go after him next. Who knows? But you're opening up the door for rappers to sue rappers, which is, it's already begun, what we talked about earlier with J. Cole and Cameron. I'm not saying this never happened in the past, but it was very quiet. Rarely you hear rappers suing each other. Rarely. Okay. But this has now opened the door where you had Fat Joe doing defamation cases against ex I guess part, like not a partner, like lover, but a guy that he used to work with, that was a part. I don't know if he was a part of terrorist squad or was a DJ or something. Like, now you got Fat Joe suing for defamation over that. Go look it up, people, whoever's listening. So You know what I mean? This is just setting up doors for, like, it's just like you can't say nothing anymore. It's like you're centers of all what Drake is doing, all the rappers that have fought and that have, that have fought in court, Two Live Crew to even Tupac, all these people that have just been like fighting against censorship, gone down the drain because Drake can't settle the fact that you freaking lost a rap battle. Move on. You're causing damage now. And I understand if you were innocent, then yes, we will stand by you and be like, yes, but you're not because you defamed yourself. You defamed other rappers. You put down other rappers. You said lies about other rappers. You damaged rappers' careers in the past. You alluded to somebody being a PDF file back when you're in the start of your career for Aristo. Okay, you did it yourself. Okay, so this is why I can't stand with Drake with this on this, because you it's hypocritical to the core, guy, to the core. So that's why. Okay, so as I said, I don't hate Drake. I just don't like the action. I don't care what anybody says right now. It's not right. It doesn't sound right, and it's just ill. It's just ill. Okay, that means he, like, it's like, yo, that he's giving the right for all of them to pick out all everybody's lyrics. They're gonna pick out your lyrics left, right, and center. They're gonna tell you what you say and what you cannot say, Drake. There you can't. You're dealing with people's freedom of speech now. Okay, you're not. It's like this God complex because they call him the sixth God. It's like you're trying to be God. You can't. You're not God. You can't be God. You call yourself God. You can't be him. You can't change that. Okay, only he can. So that's why. He can't mean the one and true living God. Only he can do that, not you. Okay? So, anyways, that's my 2 cents. It's getting late. Amari, thank you for having me. Is there anything else you want to say? I took over the end of the show, but anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's everything. I think you pretty much touched on everything. So we did a good job.
Cool, cool, cool.
And yeah,
Yeah.
we'll probably just call it an call it here. And any yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for having me and
Okay.
all the best to your channel.
Thank you everyone for watching and we out. Peace.
Yeah, peace.